Howdy out there, Dave Duford here at davidduford.com. Hope you're doing well. Today I've decided to film a video and also release an up-to-date year 2020 final expense production activity recording worksheet. This is something that I'm going to be using for the agents of mine that are working with me inside of my coaching program. And I wanted to go ahead and just release it out to everybody because I think it's super useful in helping you track your numbers and then to diagnose what you're doing right, what you can improve on. So let me go ahead and just take you over to my desktop here. So what you're going to see on the screen is really just first of all, if you go to File and then Make a Copy, you can make this yours. This should be read only or view only, but if you do File and Make a Copy, then it'll save it to your computer or your Google Drive. So what you're going to see on the left, of course, is a date column, the days, and if you work like suggested in here, certain days of the week but not others, just delete these. You can actually just go ahead and completely delete them. It's not going to break the integrity of the software. So what you want to do with this is, if we take a look here, you want to start tracking all aspects of your activity. The number of dials you make specifically and the number of door knocks you make. And then out of those dialing and door knocking attempts, we're going to be tracking, I want you to track dialed set presentations and dialed set, door knock set presentations. So the reason we're doing this is we want to track the difference between what's getting us more activity or how much it's going to take for each prospecting activity to acquire an appointment. So, and that'll come in usefulness a little bit later, as I'll explain. Then we track our no-shows, okay? And again, we're manually just inputting all this in, okay? And we get to completed presentations, which of course, it's already pre-designed. If I saw 10 there, it would move up automatically to 13, just like magic. We write our daily applications in. So this would be each individual policy that you write. I would count that as an app, okay? Now I wouldn't count as an app a grandma with 10 children as 11, 10 grandchildren as 11. I count it as one. But if I did a Mutual of Omaha grandchild rider, then I might actually count that as separate. So don't want to get too granular here, but just count your apps, you know. If it's a husband, wife, it's 2. If it's a single person, it's 1. Total APV, just go ahead and calculate your total APV or annual premium volume, annualized premium volume, roughly is what that means. And then add it up each day here, okay. I also put down days you do lead spends. So what I want you to do here is to, every time you make a lead purchase, I want you to track what you spent on your leads, okay? Every day that a transaction hits your account, put down what that cost is, okay? Obviously, there's days where you don't buy leads, but then there's days that you do. Okay, so we'll come back to these goals later. And let's look at ratios, because this is where it gets fun. So what this is going to do is give us running year-to-date ratios on the most important metrics here. Now, if you've watched enough of my training, then you know that for me, the big thing in any sort of insurance sales environment is activity, okay? I want people to stop thinking so much about making sales as much as they are hitting their activity every single day, every single week. Why? Because anybody who's successful in this business knows that results come with activity. It doesn't always come immediately, it doesn't always come instantly, but it does come if you hit your consistent activity goals consistently. So what I want to focus on in this year's version of this production tracker is just that. I want to show you how important it is from your activities of prospecting, how you can get appointments, what you can expect, and then extrapolate what you need to do on an activity basis daily to make it happen. So let's take a look here at the screen, and we'll get to all this in a minute. But the most important thing is right here on rows 10 and 11, we're tracking dials to set appointments and door knocks to set appointments. What this is simply doing is going here and dividing 50 by 5 And that gives us an average of 10 appointments. Actually, I should say it's total dials down here and knocks divided by total presentations corresponding to that type of activity. Okay, so we're doing door knocks divided by door knock presentations. And what this does in this example, if we look at door knocks to set appointments, is it's telling us that every 3 door knocks, we are making a sale, all right? Excuse me, making a presentation. Now, let's say this presentation close ratio was 50%. You would take then that number, 3 divided by 50%, and what that would tell us is that it takes 6 door knocks in order to hit your sale, right? And then if your dollar amount is $700 and you take 6 appointments to hit it, if we just do the quick math here, sum of 700 divided by 6 appointments means your average door knock is worth $117 roughly, okay? Even if they say no, it's an economic monetized value, which you will eventually realize with enough input. So this is incredibly powerful, guys. So again, what this does is it allows you to connect activity with results, okay? Again, the most frustrating thing about any insurance sales business model, final expense or otherwise, is executing on a daily basis, dealing with the inevitable frustrations that every single person is going to go through. But then also having the personal discipline to control our emotions, to control our frustrations, to control our attention, so that we always dial in on what matters most. And the person who can consistently do that in any insurance sales category is going to be a top producer. And this demonstration of this activity here is showing you the connection between putting that activity on the front end and then eventually ultimately getting the results on the back end. So again, let's go back here and take a look at these things here. So we've got total door knocks, total dials, total presentations. All of this is automatically added for you. You don't have to modify any of this. It's taken off of this spreadsheet here. And then we also track no-shows and then completed presentations too. Now we do completed presentations because we want to track what your no-show ratio is, make sure it's not out of whack, you know, or out of ordinary, right? You know, for me, just so you know, 20% no-show rate is fine in this business. So, and again, dials here, what we're saying here is it takes 10 dials to set an appointment. If my goal is to set 5 appointments, I'm going to have to do historically 50 dials a day, right? If I want to do 10 appointments, I'm going to have to do 100 dials a day. Or I'm going to have to do 50 dials, right, for 5 appointments. And then 15 door knocks for 5 appointments. So you see how we're not monetizing, but applying a specific goal, a measurable, achievable goal that you set for yourself based on your own numbers. Again, this gets powerful after you consistently do this for a couple of weeks and start to track your numbers. And again, all of this is a moving target based off of every single day's input. So average case size, we just take our APV divided by, or multiplied by percentage rate, and then divide it by total app count for an estimate amount. So let me cover this average percentage commission thing here. I think it's worth mentioning. This isn't a perfect worksheet that's going to track everything absolutely perfectly. I guess I could get more granular. I could get more detailed with putting this together, but the reason I'm not is because I'm afraid that if it's too detailed, so many of you who should be using this will never use it. So I want to use as accurate as possible, but as simple as possible, a tracking activity worksheet to get you into the method or the process of tracking your process, to tracking your activity. So for example, commission is a perfect example. We all know that, let's say, you know that there's different commission levels for different products. The thing that you're going to have to make a determination on is what is the weighted average commission. Well, you know, that's all hypothetical if you're just getting started in this business. You know, maybe 20% of your business is guaranteed issue. The rest is going to be at the full commission. But what if you got 1 or 2 different companies that pay slightly different? So, like for example, my starting agent started 100% to 110% with the vast majority of the carriers, except guaranteed issue. But I know that guaranteed issue is going to happen. So instead of just saying they're at 110%, because that's where they start with most carriers, we're going to put an average commission percentage of 100% to accommodate for the guaranteed issue business occasionally that you're going to write. So again, it's not a perfect extrapolation, but it's a best fit for the circumstance. Hopefully guys can forgive me. Okay, so back to the screen here. Of course, we've got return on investment. This is the amount of revenue we receive based off of the amount of investment that we make. In my business model that I teach agents doing a combination of calls and door knocking, you want this above 4. If it's below 4 but above 3, it's okay if the volume is high enough, meaning if a guy's taking 100 grand in leads, producing 300,000 in revenue and netting a 200 grand, may seem like a lot of money to make that money, but who cares? It's $200,000. So for the vast majority of you should be shooting for a 4-to-1 return on investment. And this is good for any sort of campaign. You can do telemarketing with this. You can do direct mail with this. This is going to vary, okay? So it doesn't matter to me. Again, you'll see some, in my opinion, some sources of leads have higher ROIs than others. But again, best fit for the main purpose here. This is just going to give you an average of what everything's doing and what your total return on investment is, because that's what ultimately matters at the end of the day. Okay, app count is derived automatically on the other page. And let me give you some concluding thoughts here. So number one, this is just fantastic for tracking your activity, obviously. Activity is king, guys. This is what the real purpose of all of this is to teach how important it is to think about daily and be present in your business on a daily basis and making it your daily goal to hit your goals. This is very much near and dear to my heart because of some recent realizations I've made. I'm a very future-oriented person, and I think more about the results, but I've had to refine my thinking and mindset to be concerned with the activity of the day and know that if I hit my activity goals of the day, then I will hit the longer-term goals that will come along. And it's like that for me right now. It's like this for weight loss. I think about losing so much weight. I think about how frustrating it is and the struggle it is, and then I get on the scale and I think about the results and it's not what I want. And then I get off of it. I quit, and then it's repetitive. Whereas what I've realized is if I just think about hitting 100% daily, everything will follow like it should. And it is, and it works. And it works not just for weight loss, it works for sales. So think about your daily activity. Now, let me take you back here to the screen. The other thing that's cool is that we've got dials of set appointments and door knocks of set appointments. Again, we've covered this already, right? This is powerful because, again, you can extrapolate what you need to do to make this business work. If all you do is door knocks and it takes 3 attempts to get a presentation, then congratulations. You're in the position to where if you want to do 20 appointments a week, you've got to do 60 door knocks, okay? Or whatever the number is, right? But at least the power is that now we know what we have to hit on a daily basis, right? We need to do 20 appointments a week. We got 4 days to do it. That's 4 appointments. It takes 3 to get there. That's 12 door knocks a day. That's all we need to do, right? Pretty powerful. Okay, so same thing for the dials. Let's see here. That's pretty much it, guys. This isn't very complicated. I will say, so you can keep track of goals here, that kind of thing as you go along, just to help you kind of keep perspective on where you should be. But the big takeaway here, ladies and gentlemen, is I wanted to make this as simple as possible so that you would actually use it, okay? This whole video has no purpose if you just bypass this or give it a shot for a couple of days and then get lazy and non-committal and then just decide not to use it, okay? The thing is if you want exceptional results in your life, exceptional things, you've got to take exceptional measures, okay? And part of one thing that exceptional people do is they keep track of what matters. They're concerned about the basics. They're concerned about being present in their business and executing on what it takes on an activity basis because they know that it's going to follow. And they follow and fill out forms like this because they know it helps them stay accountable. It's like a reinforcement process. And again, what we're going to do for if your agents are out there and you want to do coaching with me, if you're working with me, we're going to utilize this to help hold ourselves accountable, but then to also at all times diagnose where improvements we can make are, and then encourage us where things are going right. So it's going to be a powerful tool just to make sure that we're doing the best that we can. My name is David Duford. I hope you enjoyed this training. You'll find the link below to this in the YouTube video. Make sure when you click on the file button, you click make a copy so you can save this for yourself. All the formulas will come with you. Now you've got your own copy. And if you got any questions for me, you have any concerns, thoughts, anything like that, just holler back at me, leave a comment below. Go to davidduford.com if you want to learn how to join my insurance agency. El Jefe logging out. We'll see you.